Hi.
Hello.
Wee! Oops, there's something. Huh? Oh, I need to change something. Ah ha ha ha. Setup isn't ready. What the? Where? There you are. Milo. Crazy Rabbit. There you are. Me too. Da Vinci Girl. My ears. Early hugs. Yeah. Crazy Rabbit is up. We almost finished the day, so. Some good news. Ha! Because I still had a day off today, because for a very specific reason, I bought a new car. Woo! It's not going to arrive before. It will take 5 months, but but yeah, it's ordered. Everything is fine because I was visiting this morning and we had made everything ready to with money and stuff, and he had to ask if I. Hopefully not a Tesla. No, it's the Mazda. And funny enough, I checked the list. It's a mild hybrid, but it's not an electric car. So, yeah, I won't buy that. I wait for the live stream of Spitfire Audio. What do you with your old car? Well, it sold to the guy who gets my new car. Yeah. So, good deal. Let's hope it's a faster car. Oh, Mazda CX-5. Ooh, this is yeah. I had a Mazda when I started working in that business, because where I worked, we had Mazda. Back then we had Chrysler Jeep, and I needed a new one. Said, "Oh, I'm gonna buy a Mazda 323." Back then, diesel was very happy. I drove more than these days, but I drove to work and concerts or whatever. Lots of travel, and But recently, because they changed, they had been taken over by Ford. Still, when I was working there, and they weren't as good as before. No. I was a bit hesitating. And a friend of mine, a co-worker, said, "Oh, they changed back. It's they're part of Toyota now." I said, "Oh, now that is interesting." It was because I was checking Kia and other brands, and because I have a Toyota, but it's a very crappy car. It has no... So, yeah. It has no power, so I need something with a bit of... Right, yeah, there's something makes another supposing no... Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, but for work, I will use bus because if I take the car, it would take 10 minutes to go, but I would need to pay parking fees all day. Even if I would get a reduced price, it's still every month. And no, for that, it's not worth it. So just gonna use it like I use this one, and maybe travel a bit more around, because the car that I have now, driving long distances was a nightmare, especially if you had mountains and it had no power. It was a nightmare to drive, so yeah. Oh, well, a new one. It was about time. So. Yeah. And on another side, I was preparing this, and I had some problems. I was using Abbey's reverbs. I tested a reverb from Waves and Thorn and Arturia stuff, and I started to say, I could add Cherry Audio signs, and suddenly I was going through presets, and I had crackles, distortion, terrible distortion. Not with every preset, but some. Something is broken. I checked plugins, the master bus, deactivated some other effects. They were not on track. I said, that's odd. Closed Reaper, started the standalone. Same thing. So that's odd. So what can it be? I checked my interface, and I had it on... The safe mode was unchecked on 512 samples. And I said, okay, checking safe mode. Ooh, crackles and distortion were gone. Well, that's odd. I tried, lower it. With safe mode on, no crackles and distortion. So that's odd. But just with signs, I don't know, maybe it's because it uses a lot of sine waves. I don't know. Very strange. Because it has what? I got 1, 2, 3, 4 oscillators. What the heck? Pushing a car uphill is no fun. Yeah. The thing was, I needed a car very quickly because someone destroyed my old... I had a Honda, my mom's car, because back then I couldn't afford a new one. So she bought a new one and I got hers. I was driving around for a few years with it. It wasn't a fast car. It was very spacious. But then, I was going to my cousin, the dentist, and we were going back to work. I was at a red light, and red turned to green. I was starting a car, and suddenly I just look in the mirror, and boom, some girl, I don't know, she thought my car was moving, but I wasn't. And the car was... It wasn't destroyed, but it had a big bump, like Mr. Peter Sellers would say. It had a bump on the car. But repairing, the insurance said, no, too much, costs too much. The car is not worth repairing, so I need a new one. And it had to be quickly, so... I bought the first one. I had the idea to go, just get some tiny little car that drives. So I bought a Toyota Aygo. I didn't test drive it, so I just took the first one who came. But yeah, the first time really driving around once I got it. When did the accident? Oh, that's 4 years ago. So yeah. Oh yeah, I needed a car with it very quickly. So I bought the first that came along. That wasn't too expensive. So yeah, but yeah, I wasn't really happy with it. The first time I drove a bit longer distance, and oh my goodness, that car needs power. Driving here to go shopping or really not very short distances in the city around, that was okay. And but yeah, on the highways and well, it has to be a bit more when you try to pass someone over. It doesn't really have power. And once a slight, even 10% or 5% uphill, I go, okay, where's the fucking power? So, it's very odd, but now it's working. I will test leaving it on 256 just to test how it will work. So, let's see if the audio is coming through. It is. It is. It is. Still a bit loud. Yeah. Sounds pretty nice. Did you opt out before yesterday? eBay China user base. Huh? I actually don't have an eBay account, so for I had one decades ago. I used to sell a lot, and I closed it. And I tried to reopen one, and they asked, so it was open, and suddenly they asked for some kind of documentation, you know, to verify if I'm actually a real person or whatever. It's kind of so complicated to open it. They train their user base with AI. Yeah, apparently I've seen, like a few weeks ago, there was on YouTube, someone, I did watch the video, where the title said, eBay is done, probably. never use it for ages. Don't. So, very weird. So, let's see. I can start here. Sounding very nice. I actually wanted to, because let's use that. I grabbed the I grabbed the free wave stuff today. And I had some. Let's see. I had this one. Yeah, I think this one was it. So it saved the preset. How you become, but don't shop with it. Check your data. Even there's some. Oh my goodness. Yeah, about AI stuff. It's like I watched a video from. He's a musician, and he had made a video about his documents and stuff. Because AI, I think AI is a cool tool, but the problem is it's not not AI is the problem. It's humans the problem. Because when you see what it's like at some point apparently some used Mid-Journey for not very legal images to create. They're using prompts, and Mid-Journey had to take care of it because, like typical humans, they're creating prompts for child pornography and what else, very weird stuff. And at first, Mid-Journey wasn't aware of it, and suddenly someone said, someone actually, a lot of people using your AI to create illicit pictures. So, yeah, it's like using AI to steal data, like stuff with the documents and stealing user data or stealing music or images or whatever. It's not the AI. The AI just does what you tell the AI to do. So the problem is the human behind the AI using the tool. It's like with every tool. It's like they always say guns are dangerous, but the human holding the gun is the bigger problem. So, Nick,
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, what's that for an icon? What is that? That's a cute one. So is us yet we want to point the figure and never look. Yeah, it's we some blame AI for some shit, but it's the humans. They first develop it. Oh, it's a nice tool. Like it's like someone invented when Mr. Oppenheimer invented a certain tool, and once the tool was actually used, he said, "Oh shit! Now I invented something," and suddenly he was totally against it because how humans use the tool he invented, yeah, shit. So it's with everything. Like humans invent something and then they invent AI. They blame AI, but they don't blame themselves. It's not the tool. It's that one who actually doing. Because yes, apparently there is. I heard something. Now some AI can talk to each other. And now some are actually scared about that. But yeah, they talk to each other with a language that apparently humans don't understand. But you got a rainy day. Oh, that's too bad. You got nice little ambient sounds for you today. AI Furbies, yeah. Yeah, I seen the video. He was using two phones with some. He didn't mention which AI tools. Apparently, there were two different ones, and suddenly they were communicating with each other. So, yeah. But it's still not as dangerous as the one actually sitting behind the prompt asking for. It's like they developed an AI tool with some nasty intentions and asked them about human and said, yeah, destroy them. Oh, yeah. It's very nice. Now I need some not sure if that I might need to put in. Yeah, but it might be maybe VCA. Okay, now we're changing the preset. There is there is a delay. There is tape. Oh, there's the timer. Let's see. that's better. Tracker check. Easy. Now we're gonna put it here. I'm actually slowly getting more familiar with changing presets. Might come a day. That's why I'm actually trying to make a bit more not too. Yes. Oh. he changed his name again. Apparently he likes to change his name. But you're still VP. DL, it's alive, yes. I'm good. That's some explain stuff. I'm actually on one side I'm not so happy that it will cost me money. But I bought a new car today and I resolved a problem with signs in my interface. So that is good. So Mr. Vice Pope, yeah, you could. Oh, that's a Vice. That Kent is not in chat. The idea came from was watching some stream to see how he, but the guy played with hardware, of course, but how he created certain layers and stuff. And does the new car wind up like a vintage Hot Wheels? I should have video it. Yeah, I'm actually thinking I might actually install a dash cam in it. Are those Scopes Reaper extensions? What do you mean the scopes? Scopes. What are scopes? My English is bad today. What are scopes? Scopes at the bottom. No, that is mini meters. It costs $10, and it's actually a VST who sits on the master, and it sends it. It's a bit constructed like the global sampler, but differently because you have an app. So the mini meters here, the server, sends the audio into this, and I seen this. Who was using it? I think Projector did. I seen it on many live streamers. I asked, what is that tool? Because in the beginning, because Projector was using it, and I thought it was maybe a Max for Live thing, and he said, yeah, it's a new tool, millimeters. Interesting. And I saved the site, and I always kept forgetting to actually buy it, and I bought it recently. You get all this, but I had to change my screen set a bit to actually that you can see it. Well, I'm just using it for the live stream because it looks pretty. Can give you the mini meters. So it's on itch.io. Try again. Now the site. Oh, that's odd. The link doesn't work. At least the one. Let's see if I. If I have it, where did I put it? I think it was the. It's very odd. Let's see. There's the app because the itch.io didn't work. So there it is. Hockmeter. There it is. Millimeters app. So it's a standalone and as a server, and you can set it up. You can change the colors. You can even change the different settings here, like when you all kinds of these different themes who are quite interesting. So, oops, where was it? No. You could actually, let's see. They're not all very. Depends on what kind of. This one might be. This one, no, this one is. Audio AK, clouds, cool edit. Oh, this one. Huh? It's more greenish. I like how it looks instead of using treat. What it is?
Hi.
Hello.
What was I looking for? Now I actually wanted to actually. Something crazy or something normal? It does sound a bit 80s like. It could be because I got an update, so let's check. And that one is also... Yes. Spectrogram view can be pretty useful. Yes, it's you could use the it's not cheap. There's an application who I know that Cameron uses this one especially for mastering and mixing and stuff. It has much more. It's modular and has much more information, but it ain't cheap. I actually demoed it once, and that is from... It's a Process Audio. It's it's 50% off. Decibel. I do have their free tool, and I always wanted to try the Ripple. So, yeah, Decibel. Learn more. Because the thing is, yeah, it costs, at the moment it costs 70. It's normally 139. But it can be installed on tablets and phones. So, there's a Hawkeye Spectrometer is a big plugin to check many things. From SPL, very noise. Using his masterclass. Wait away from looks of spectrum. I can't imagine, because I even using the Decibel, it runs on its own thing, and it's modular. And the demo, I used the demo a bit, and it really it looks like the stuff built in Wave Labs. So, and you can use specific modules and setups like you want to. So, if you do a lot of mixing mastering, so I don't really, because I don't even know what it does. It just looks pretty. So the drums sound nice. I could, let's see, because I also want to make another track presets here. And this time not. I have a track preset for the UAD. I didn't use the Arturia yet. So I guess this one. It's my go-to. What is it? Thin. Spectrogram glass, so my wife looks more interesting. That might be a method. Who knows? Let's see. Default. Oops, let's name it. Plate 140. Let's save that. So I got more. That view Light Platte. 40 Arturia. Français. Frenchy. Speaking about French, when Arturia they made a video when they presented their new synthesizer, the stage synthesizer with built-in analog lab function. You had the CEO and some developer, both French, talking in English on the presentation. Because, oh my goodness, the accent. Oh my goodness. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let's make a send. Let's use that. I was taking the thin here. Well, let's make the subway. That might sound interesting. Sorry, very good. When you start with just actually have a good convolution, we were able to bring the sounds correcting distinct rooms and other instruments. This message is self-destructing in 10 seconds. Poof. And 3D is hiding already. I'm not sure if you actually have the channel from Crazy Rabbit. You need to check his channel. He sampled the Hunk Monster. It's quite fun. I'm going to be famous because of my nasty laughing. That's actually a laugh that I imitate from a very famous, sadly deceased French comedian. He was always laughing like that, especially when he had something in mind. Monsieur de Funès. The Americans might not know it. Germans know him, but some never liked his style of comedy, but I think he was funny. The funny thing is he was playing very nervous guys in his movies, but in reality he was a very calm guy. The problem was when he was making movies, because of his style of playing, it created health problems in the end when he was getting music is okay. Come to the live stream for the laughs and hugs. So yeah. Normally, let's see. Oops. Can you export the MIDI here? Yes, you can. So let's try that just to export. It's kind of user. If I drag, there we are. So that's pretty much it. But I think I have to change the no. There was a setting that it doesn't. Found it. Host sync. Oh, that's the tempo. I could try something instead of dragging it out. It should actually output MIDI. Oh. No, it doesn't output MIDI. No. Well, actually, it doesn't. So it's very odd. Well, let's leave it like that. I'm missing chat. Uncle Chrome!
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Uncle Chrome. Oh, it's quite a lot of people today. How come? So I'm on this. I want to just test if I change some of the change. Can change the MIDI. That's where you are. Oh, actually, what was that? A bit more fun here. I want to hear. So that's working. This was in the oh, they are talking about punching. Someone plans to go to Superboost Berlin. Yeah, not me, apparently. Oh, Tracker, yeah, Tracker. It's, I could, but that's a bit too, maybe next year. Maybe next, because I always wanted to visit Odo in Berlin, but I wouldn't drive. I would take the plane, though. Because I once 30 years ago I drove to Leipzig, and back then I had my Mazda, my first Mazda 323, but it was a diesel, and it was a pretty fast car, but it was still almost 700 kilometers. But go to a very famous. Back then, it wasn't so famous as today. I wouldn't go today. The Wave Gothic Treffen, the VGT. But yeah, back then in '94, it was very interesting. But I wouldn't drive to Berlin with a car. I visited Berlin like three or four times. So I know my way around in Berlin, but I always plan to go back. I almost did go to the my favorite band, who recently started doing live weekends in Berlin too. But I almost did go last year, but fun to take the train in Germany. I would actually take the plane. Maybe a bit cheaper than taking a. If I take the train, I might not arrive in time for the Superboost with the Deutsche Bahn. Because we know they can be quite punctual. Yeah, but for me, I would have to probably very complicated to find, especially connections between Luxembourg and then maybe Trier, and then from there to maybe have to change multiple time to actually go to Berlin. It would be easier to just take, I think a plane doesn't cost a fortune. So I think I checked when I was planning to go to the Meridian weekend. It was like 200 euros, I think, both ways, so back and forth. You have to book months in advance to get a decent price. Yeah, it's flying is a better option. I always always plan to go back to the Form of Hands in Germany, the industrial festival, but I know that Udo Weissman always sends me invites but yeah, I always forget to plan ahead. Because yeah, it's kind of, because it's a bit weird, because they're doing the festival mostly from Fridays to Saturdays, so you have to take a vacation and book the hotel, and the hotel is like 10-kilometer drive to the location. It's but it's very tiny festival, but it's very loud, very noisy. But the lineup doesn't change much. because it's a label festival. Sometimes there's a new artist coming up, and I'm not sure. Let's check, because the main act was always Winterkälte, but since the drummer, he recently died, hence 2025. The lineup. Funny because they missed one date, or it's formal fans 24, but in 2025. So who's playing here? So you got Orphix, Monolith, Mononoware, Null Vector, Static Bloom, Lush Projecto, Mirage, of always Maschinenkrieger, Silvergeist, Maelstrom, Talvicoidic, Templar, Supersymmetria, Siamga, Spectra Negra, Incendie, and some, there's no Winterkälte this time, because Udo is still alive, but sadly the drummer died because of cancer recently, a few months ago. So that was kind of sad news, but because he had some good news that apparently was on his way to recovery, and suddenly, because he had published a solo album, and actually with the theme about his health and cancer and stuff. Viral Beats, the man who makes boom stuff.
Hi.
Hello.
We make boom stuff today too, so it's maybe less boom. We got DMG joining just before the break.
Hello.
So let's find out if I need to. Let's do some James Dyson here. What do you got here? Because I want some pads here. James has humor naming his presets. Sounds interesting. Very lush. I do like that one, but could try this one. Oh, this one is a hero. Have you tried any UVI plugins? Which one? All of them? I have Sonic Pass. It's one of my subscriptions I kept, and I used quite a few of them, drums and stuff like that. Because I am on Sonic Pass, it's quite UVI. Let's see if I use that. Get some MIDI in here. Key snap. I'm on D natural minor. I don't know what it is, but it sounds good. I'm not sure if I can do variation here. So a bit, I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Let's see. If I select, I need to even maybe move it in master level. Limiter. I'm already lost with this one because attack time. That's the ring modulator. Because I want to have it react to velocity, brilliance, level, brilliance. That's the touch response. VCA, VCF. Repeat. Effects. Phase. Not sure it has one. On sustain. Oh, that. Maybe a plugin once. That came with my core control too. Ah. I once had it's the only license I grabbed at some, I'm not even sure which site, had the piano. I got a license for that one. But I mentioned it because yes, you can choose buy them separately, and now you can actually buy the bundle where you get everything in one interesting price. And track no ball plugins. Wasp confirmed. Oh, Cherry Audio, $50. Oh, yet another one. I'm so behind with Cherry Audio. So totally behind because totally behind it. It's the range getting. I didn't even get the last drum machine. It's they're developing so fast, crazy. So keyboard control, brilliance, low, level, high, touch response, pitch bend speeds. But I don't see any. That's the thing with sometimes they level. Too much knobs. Culture of Ghost. Ooh.
Hi.
Hello.
So, I need to check the Wasps and Cherry Audio. Cherry. I was on the site this morning because I was checking my licenses because I thought my Signs Yellow Jacket. Learn more. Looks kind of very yellowish. Huh. An entirely new breed. Okay. It's I think I know someone who's going to have fun making presets. Mr. James Dyson here. He's famous. He's on the main site in the picture. George. So it doesn't really react to velocity. So I might just turn the volume down to not make it too loud. So let's see. George is working and lurking. Yeah, that's working. So let's see. Let's do that. Let's gonna loop it to be sure. Let's start over here. Let's take a short break with the music. With the music. Let's wait where's my pause here? Whee! I'm back. Yes. Oh, Mr. Chat. Yeah, I don't know. Talk about crazy hardware stuff. And I was thinking about the GX80 here. Why it doesn't react to velocity. Might need to check the. Yeah, I do have a sample for that.
Did you get it? No? Then read the fucking manual.
Exactly. I was thinking about it. I just own one hardware, and I know that little thing reacts to velocity. My MIDI controller reacts to velocity. My MIDI editor has velocity in it. But a lot of plugins not always react to velocity right from the start. Because I know that some, for example, even the dorsum range, you have to set it up that it actually reacts to velocity. That's kind of thing that should be built in right from the start, because I had like once loaded Cult, and it didn't really. Why doesn't it was way too loud and stuff like that? And so, why doesn't it react to? I never dabbled in Reaper, but this is quite popular. Yes. In certain, I think it's still an underdog compared to maybe more famous ones, but I think the Reaper users don't brag about it that they actually using Reaper, not like maybe the Ableton Live users. I use Ableton Live. Nothing better. And then the Bitwig users are quite the same. Bitwig is the best store ever. Could do a ranting show again. Yuma, Arizona, 10 a.m., 96 degrees. So I think I've pretty mostly done the biggest parts. Let's get rid of the loop. let's start making some freezing here. Thought Reaper users were like vegans. Cosmic Simon. I'm definitely not vegan.
Hi. Hello.
I'm definitely not vegan. I use Reaper and eat vegetarians. Guido! Holography is showing it enough proudly. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. How famous is Reaper actually? Quite a few channels, and it has been around for quite a while. So it's kind of. But I think it's, yeah, you had like the most famous channel is of course Kenny Joya. And then you have the Reaper blog. The Reaper uses since version 0.19. Oh my goodness, that's a long time. Free, not really. It has, you can use it after the demo period. It's a full working version, but you always, when you open it, you get the nag screen. Oh, please buy me. But you still can use it. But it's a bit like FL Studio. You still can use it and has some limitations with some things when you don't buy it, I think. 6 Tascam represents Sonic parents recording it. Yeah, I know that why I think it's a very good software when you're actually playing hardware and you have mixers and stuff to, especially if you have a multi-channel mixers and ADAT and whatever, like a real recording studio, recording your instruments and drums and mics and guitars and whatever. It's a traditional digital audio workstation. It is an Acme, but completely unscripted. Yeah, it's totally, it's not free, but it's still free. Because there are people around who are actually using it for ages and never paid for it, but still, the guy doesn't really need money because he made a lot of money with with a certain software that he sold the users for us. So it doesn't really need a lot of money, but yeah. But yeah, I think there's a huge load of even professional recording studios and a lot of home users who actually record a lot of stuff. Even podcasters, sound designers, even game audio or movie sound designers use it a lot. So I bought license twice. Need to do so again. Very use it anymore. VCV3 has become my dream though. Yeah, that's another thing. Uncle Chrome is totally into VCV. Viral Beats once got into he had the voltage modular bug, and then yeah, that's a deep rabbit hole. I have motorized fingers, 2 mixers, mixer. There's a Fairlight. Ooh. Yeah, it can't do anything in it fast. But the thing is, some people might not used to it, how it works. But if you know the traditional linear DAWs, works like anybody. Or it has maybe, some say Cubase have more MIDI options and stuff like that. But for audio recording, routing and doing sends and all kind of stuff, it's far more advanced. And what was it? I think yesterday I was seeing someone actually talking about why he was using Ableton Live. I talked about the routing. I said routing. There's no other DAW that has a routing possibilities and almost craziness possibilities like Reaper has. You can, even Bitwig is very limited. You can even you can record directly audio, MIDI, loopbacks, whatever you want. You can record live MIDI audio. The output of plugins that some DAWs don't really like, or you have to do a routing to record the output of the plugin, and lots of complicated turnarounds. And Uncle Chrome is going technical. Oh my goodness. So let's freeze that one. Lots of freezing today. And then we're gonna add some stuff. Here's Pro Tools for 18 years. I appreciate it. So flexible, optimize. Hard sell for users due to the lack of software. Yeah, that's some actually miss that part, but if you're using software a lot, you might have enough plugins to instruments and effects, or you can grab tons of free stuff. So that's pretty much a good solution, because even on Mike's Discord, there's plenty of beginners who ask, if I get Reaper, do I need... they know that there's just a few basic effects in it, and even you can install Reapack, and you get a bit... The instruments are kind of cheesy, most of them. You can do music with it, but I think the idea behind it, because it doesn't have built-in instruments, just both basic effects, to actually just have a tool to directly record your stuff if you have hardware or have instruments and microphones, and do whatever you want. But some might even like to have access to built-in instruments and samples. Why they may be choosing all the others like FL, Live, Bitwig Studio, Cubase, Studio One, Pro Tools, and all these kind of things. So, yeah. Let's make them a bit bigger here. So this, I might actually, I'm going to add a new folder here. It's 3. Don't need to record. Some nice coloring. Nice things. It looks pretty. Very pretty. That's more like it. All the hardware getting dusty in the corner while Atari RX 16 and powerful PC VC. Can imagine, because yeah, that's the thing with VCV rack. You can totally build your own system, and if you have the can load, there's a module that can load actually plugins. I even bought that one in case of I never use it, so yeah. I can load plugins into VCV Rack. That's pretty cool. Oh. That's a good page. What didn't I freeze yet? This one. Freeze it. Freeze. Do some freezing. Oops. Why didn't... Oops. That's odd. Still has audio on it. Okay. Why didn't it... Ah, there it is. There you are. I think I was on the wrong channel. Been chasing VST players in the VST probably like changing hardware and music subtitling. And die happy. The other owners of other dolls than their own is based on previous version. Yeah, but the thing is, we always talk about it. You get we are all different, so I only can talk for myself. I tried almost all of them, except Logic, because I don't have Apple. But even the weird ones, and some I was totally lost in it, how to do, and I would have to watch hours and hours of videos, because someone actually said if you're using like Cubase, there's so much things in there, and even for Reaper, I'm still a pretty beginner in Reaper. So, and someone, Jazz Dude, said he's been using Cubase for decades, almost since it came out, and he still knows like 50% what it can do. So these software are so powerful, and I don't even I don't even use the action lists. I have so many scripts in there, and I recently tried to I want to test using some scripts from Mardix to make the workflow better. Well, first I need to set them up, load them, and do a button for them and stuff like that. And here's all the built-in JS plugins. I have the Token Studio. I maybe used like 1%, of those. So using Cubase since the time was still, yeah, these softwares, no matter what, they're so powerful, all of them. It takes years and years to learn every little detail, and I know that, I know that Dash Glitch used Cubase for like almost a decade, and he had thousands of hours spent in Cubase, and since he moved to Bitwig, he might be still learning. There's so much stuff that even he doesn't really use, like polarity goes so deep into building stuff. Even Odo, when he streams, Odo makes the pretty basic stuff in Bitwig, especially on his streams. It's very basic, and he probably knows some ins and outs, but yeah. Tiny News, Cool Edit Pro, Cubase, Logic, Photos, Wavelab, Window, Enter, Footy Loops, Reaper. Yeah. And there's still some out there that that no one actually uses, like Mixbus, Mixcraft, the other modular system, which is quite an underdog. I don't think I have the link anymore. Or the DAW from Modo. When I was checking the interfaces and stuff to buy a new one, I was actually checking Modo and also how about their DAW. And I tried to actually find videos about their DAW, and I couldn't really find any. Very few, very old, like few years old videos on one channel who actually made some tutorials about their system. Some say it's interesting. Let me check Modo. Modo, that's no. Oops, interfaces. Might find the site. No. That's the 3D software. I don't want the 3D software. That's odd. That's Komodo. My Google doesn't find it. USB out of it. Why does it find the? That's odd. It's very odd. Something. It's not Modo. It's Moto. Products. Audio interface, MIDI interface, audio digital performer. It's called, but it costs the same price as the Cubase and stuff. By now, it's like it's $500. So it has some interesting features. But the developers are actually ex-Ableton developers. They kind of split, and the principle of both are someone kind of copied actually the idea, but tried Bitwig and Ableton a few years back. Yeah, I always say these Ableton Live and Bitwig Studio are for live performance, but a very specific kind of live performance, setting everything up there, looping MIDIs, stuff like that. It's not really built for a traditional studio recording, making traditional. There's still some people use it like that in their home studios and setting everything up. But it's specifically for certain kind of music. If you do like club music, Ableton Live and Bitwig is almost the to-go software. But you can do it in anything you want, because when you look at Mardix, when he makes his Reaper videos, he makes house, techno, trance, all kind of stuff in Reaper. So it's not limited to the DAW, but Live and Bitwig has some tools that are really useful for a certain kind of music. So, but yeah, it's digital performer. I think I did download the demo. I'm not sure. It has some interesting features. But yeah, it costs $500, and I think they have. Yeah, they all try live performance mode. Like Studio One has now a clip launcher to perform live. They're all trying to copy one of each other, but you cannot do it in Cubase. Now, recently they actually added. So one is coming up with an idea, and someone said, interesting, we could do that. So to keep their clients, it's pretty normal, I think, to keep their user base still interested and not moving on to so that worked. And let's freeze the that should work too. Yeah, I'm actually a bit eager to see what they come up with the new version for Audacity, because I use it mostly to record audio from all kinds of sources. It's perfect for simple recording, and apparently for the new versions, they're doing lots of improvements. They're trying to getting into more new ways. Some might not like it, but can be done in both. Something easy and fast in one. Yeah, it's like with every tool. Every tool has his specific purpose, or even, especially in music, specific kind of use for a specific kind of music, maybe, and of course specific users. That some might prefer a grayish-looking Excel table like Ableton. They don't even mind that the UI looks terrible or very minimalistic, and some like more fancy stuff or because, or some don't like how Reason looks with a almost too cluttered interface with the rack and the mixer and all that stuff. And I think Bitwig is interesting, but I think in some way, if you have a workflow like me and not using a lot of MIDI controllers, there's a lot of clicking around and searching for stuff. Maybe that's just me, but open, how do you see? I think I heard about that one. It's kind of fork, isn't it? I'm very happy we're having a bunch of... Yeah, it's... And you can choose the tool of your liking. You're not forced to use a specific one. Like, you know, like back in the day, especially in a professional range, they're forcing studios using Pro Tools with the hardware, very expensive setups, and home users were kind of, oh, I don't want to invest in that. So they waited out, and then suddenly there came options like Cubase and Ataris and all that kind of stuff. That changed the game, especially came at the right time when you look at all the techno productions and techno house and stuff. Yeah, first they used hardware, and suddenly MIDI editors and loopers and samplers and whatever, you could do whatever you want to not as limited, and you not even need to go to a professional studio to make your music. That changed the game. So you had to have Pro money back. yeah, Pro Tools was, oh my goodness, I was, I even heard, I had a channel who isn't actually, it was just, he was Pro Tools user from a very long time, and he actually had those build systems integrated with hardware and recording stuff and all that kind of thing. Man, that was expensive investments, and suddenly they did some changes and upgrades, and suddenly you had to buy actually a whole system with hardware and licensing. That was quite an investment. But in the professional range, it was a game changer too. It suddenly changed the music and changed how they recorded and stuff and how it was made in good and bad ways. But yeah, home producers, oh, I can use it at home. I have a DAW and I have MIDI controllers and instruments. I can do my own stuff. That was pretty much a game changer. It's like the first 8-track recorders or 4-track recorders on tape for punk bands. Kind of like that. Oh, we can record in our garage. Still sound like shit. But yeah, we can record a demo on our own without a studio. Let's take a Tascam 8-track recorder. Whee! Yeah. And punk bands still sound like shit today. So, let's get rid of the thing here. Let's do some, like here. First, because first I need to get a bit of I might do, let's see, I can do a chain like here. First I need to, where is it? My Speccraft here. TG1 was expensive. Nowadays you have everybody remembers ADAT before we got to hard disk record. Yeah, I can't remember on watching some videos on even back on the TV where you had bands showing off their recording process or talking about their new albums. And I seen there was, I think it was a German metal band, and they showed the TV crew around and goes, "Oh, this is behind the studio. This is where all the recording is backed up." And they had a whole rack with hard disk recorders where everything was actually put in what they were doing in the studio. The whole rack of hard disk recorders. And I can even remember funny enough, I had a DVD player with a hard drive recorder. And for me, that was coming from the VHS times. That was a kind of game changer because I could actually record TV shows on the hard drive and make my own DVDs, copying the recordings directly from the hard drive. And it's kind of strange that kind of thing didn't really hook up with like hard disk recorders and stuff like that, and DAT tapes. Recently I had, who was that? A famous techno producer from Germany who recently found in a box somewhere all his DAT tapes from the early 90s he used to record his techno stuff. I was going, I still, now I needed to find a DAT player. That was pretty cool. Even that was slowly getting into the high-end stuff, but for a very short period, even the high-end guys suddenly were interested in DAT players, digital audio tape. I can't remember that time, but very, very short-lived, especially in the high-end. In professional range, yes, but in the high-end, hi-fi systems, that was kind of an underdog. They were talking about it. You had some companies doing that, but the record industry didn't really follow along with many formats. They try a bit, like the 8-track in the US, that never really. Biscuit, get some.
Hi. Hello.
Minidisc, yeah, I loved minidisc. I had a very expensive minidisc, and the time I was making radio shows, we had they built the whole system on minidisc. They had a minidisc charger where they put the night music on, because not like these days they're using computers with the music on it. We had, we had I think they had a computer, but there was no music on it. But yeah, they had a minidisc, so that one played randomly music at night when there was no one in the studio. And we had professional, really professional, on two sides. You had a CD player, minidisc, and they even, through me, started to actually including two Technics record players with a mixer. I ordered that for them, and they built a mixing table for the DJs. Well, it was quite a... But minidisc was... I had, kind of sad, I had my interviews that I did via phone with artists like I had one guy from Heartfloor on the phone. I had, who else? Quite a few artists. I can't remember all of them, because I had contact with a woman who was doing the promotion for a label in Germany, and I had recorded everything. Even I had jingles made where they said their name and stuff like that, and you listen to that radio show. That's, yeah. Sadly, I lost those. I should have made a digital copy of those things. That's, yeah. Imagine recording me the phone interview with a minute disc recorder at home. Yeah, crazy times. Wee. 8-track. I call it this. That's best for long-term work. I heard about that format, but daily sound is a new thing. Yeah, I try to actually occupy myself streaming and doing music and sound design and mixing and babbling with you all. But little shorter ones, like 6 to 9. But maybe not every day, but I try to do as many as I can to actually, instead of just sitting on the couch doing nothing. Because you've been audio CDs for, oh my goodness, that's, yeah. That's, first we made mixtapes, and suddenly we had this. I would imagine I had the mini disc player I had. I sold it to a was kind of like a pawn shop, and he gave me, that thing back then cost a fortune. Was like 300 or 400 euros when I bought it. And he gave me like $50. And he got, oh my goodness. Yeah, no one's going to buy that. And recently we had actually artists doing releases on minidisc again, because I watched a documentary about minidisc. I think I was on YouTube. In Japan, minidisc was everywhere. Here less in Europe, US, but Japan, minidisc was hugely. Everybody had minidisc. It's kind of even way when they actually stopped using minidisc here. The Japanese still continued. All pawn shops to buy. That's the last place I sell anything. Yeah, it was kind of. I needed money, and I sold a lot of stuff. But yeah, and they opened a second one here, not far from my place, and I brought some CDs, and it said I had like few hundred. I give you $20 for it. What? Yeah, because they were selling it for 50 cents. I still want one. Yeah, that's the thing with these formats. Finding, like, yeah, there is a tape revival. Even on Bandcamp, you can buy tape. But finding one who actually still works, and there's only one who still makes a tape recorder, is from the TIAC, another company from Tascam, but they said, yeah, it's not like our old models because no one actually makes the pickups for the tapes anymore. So there's only one company still making those. So they had to use that, and they're pretty cheap, so it's not the same quality. Mini display, yeah, it's so I had a very good Onkyo tape recorder. That was a damn good tape, and I sold it. I should have kept it. But it was kind of broken, so, and I had no one to repair it. Yeah. Well, yeah, I checked. Thomann still sells the TIAC tape player recorder. Well, it's not cheap. It's like $500, I think. So. I could use to actually have even more sound here. And I want to make track templates. So yeah, my tape decks, some of the Atari tape copy not too long ago. That was not the one I was looking for, but it's not so easy to repair. Mostly problem, yeah, because when you look at what people actually still have, like when you look at the channel from Mended Mark, who is repairing stuff from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, a lot of gear that's still repairable, most of them. The problem is to find a repair guy. He lives in the UK, so if you have something to repair, it's like with Ken Spong. You have synthesizer or instruments to repair. Yeah, sending it costs already a fortune. Because mostly locally, it's already hard to find people who still can repair those old things for cheap. Well, especially for cheap. So let's make modulation. I want to save it on the effects. I had one. Oops. So that's not the one I wanted, because I wanted to use. I'll get rid of that. So I have that one. I wanted to use the beam. It takes a while. Come to Bochum, we repair for free. Well, at the moment I don't have anything to repair except my brain, maybe. Oh my goodness. Why does he do that? Let me check. Because I did a full rescan this morning. I want to show you everything. Don't show you my password here. And then so much tech here that needs to get attention. I need pad movement, ambient spaces, because I wanted to have a bit of movement here. I need let's see, save it as track template. On the effects, beam lunacy, not lunacy, lunacy. I can't write anymore. So let's make a send. Don't need to record it. So let's see. That's too low. It's a bit too fast. I know how to change the preset. What can Beam do? It's modular, granular, reverb, spacey, time stretch thing. It's a multi-effect plugin because you can You can add space, that's reverb, grain, time. They added distortion and filter modules. And every module has their own, and you can go totally crazy depending on the CPU, because it's quite intensive. Let's see if maybe not on the Reaper stuff, but it's still pretty slow, but pretty low. Depending on if you use a lot of grains and stuff. Cheers, Uncle Chrome. Up and still rebuilding. They're still not finished. And George has tapes. I still have tapes in my basement. I have a box of not a lot, like 10 or 16 tapes, thing like that. I have with some, especially on the industrial EBM experimental things that artists send me when I was doing radio, or some things that I actually bought. There's one where I would really like to listen again because it was a damn good album. But yeah, I don't have a tape player, so. I still kept them, so. Let's see, I need to I'm going to add my, where is it? It has a bit too much resonance here. Industry local heavy support and financial tools. That's might take the loop a bit shorter. Not moving. That does sound a bit better. At least for my ears. What time is it? Oh, I still can. let's take a short break and then be right back. Whee! Oh. I'm back. I'm here. Here. Hello, hello, hello. So, I actually wanted to. Let's see on the. To make a chain. First, I'm going to use the. I'm going to make a chain with the two TechCraft things. Do I have this? There it is. So I'm going to load the Kirchhoff. Okay. And then I'm going to use the SpecCraft. And those two. So actually, let's I think it's this. And let's save this as a. Let's call them PB Tech EQs. Wahaha. Making chains. Cheers, Da Vinci. Good. So let's first disable that one. Very basic one. That was, and let's just use the. And now I can actually. What? So easy. Poof! I done some sick beats in my god, a bit ago, some special edition. Ooh, mokchoy. You're making beats. Nick is doing beats with E. So let's see. What am I looping that? Ah, there it is. Oh, interesting. Interesting stuff. Not a lot, yeah. It's very low. Still figuring out how this works. Homegrown beets are nice. I don't have a garden. I only have cactuses. They're super bloody red too. Like with tomatoes. Staying active. Yeah. Spinach, sweet potato, blackberry. My grandmother used to. She had a garden and she worked a lot until sadly she couldn't do it. I mean, she still had the garden. I think she at one point she put grass on it and stopped working it. But for years, when I was a kid, she always had planted something in her garden. And my mom's sister, she had a huge, gigantic garden, really gigantic thing. And yeah, when she was getting older, she because her husband also worked a lot in the garden, and they had all kind of vegetables in it, and suddenly they transformed it into more like all kinds of shrubberies and stuff, and even a pond. No more veggies, but and her husband died, and she got older, and then, yeah. I don't think she's still spending time in that place. So that was a huge garden. My mom was never. We had when we moved to another place, because where we were living first, where my dad had his garage and stuff. Then we had we sold petrol for car and stuff like that. We didn't have a garden. We had a big tree. As kids, we were doing stuff in that tree. We almost destroyed it. Oh my goodness! Well, that one was a huge tree. And when we moved to another place, we had was kind of was one part was garden, and one part was just grass and stuff. But my mom, she liked green stuff, but not planting veggies. she loved like all having flowers and shrubberies and whatever in there. But yeah, but she never wanted to occupy herself. She wanted green stuff, but not working in it. So, yeah, there's, yeah. House spot on his interviews. Yeah, and Milo, do you actually know Pete Namlock died working in his garden? He had I think it was a heart attack while working in his garden. So, boom. Yeah, it was working and suddenly was gone. He had a yeah, irony. So, irony stuff. Hard in summer. Don't tell me. I worked in the taking care of shrubberies and trees and all kind of cutting down and stuff like that. I know during the summer that was a nightmare. Heart attack. What exactly caused it? You don't know. Yeah, I'm not. They never actually talked about that. And just that he died in working in his garden. So that's pretty much it. Because his wife and he had a daughter. They were quite. And after he died, they said they didn't want anything to do with his music and stuff. So it was kind of sad. She should have either selling the licenses or the I don't know, his legacy, but yeah, she didn't want to. So that's another view. I think she even sold all his instruments and stuff and studio equipment. She didn't want to actually take care of it. Maybe there was another reason, that some private stuff. So actually, when especially when musicians die, you got the family members destroying each other about who gets the rights, who gets the money, who actually will take care of the estates and whatever. So, well. And now I wanted to check something. Because I might need to, I'm gonna freeze the drums. But I think you will need to cut it. It's after one passes, yeah. And sometimes you get these situations where even it gets worse because when you know what, like Yoko Ono done it with the legacy of John Lennon. It's kind of a lot of even his ex-band members weren't so pleased what she did after John died. So, from Turkey. Maybe yes. I know that I have on Facebook, there's another guy who made some collaboration with Pete Namlock, and he discovered there was someone selling those editions. I think he was called, I think it was David Mofang. I think it is. Might be mistaken, or someone else. And he was trying to attack the guy who's selling those, apparently, for the music. So it was kind of, what did you call it? It's mostly about money. So, and Yoko, we all don't know. Yoko. Yoko, Miss Yoko. Let's cut it here. Do some cuts. Might need to. I might need to take off the grid because. Not sure if it's gonna be easy to cut that. Let's see if I make something else. Instead of cutting, I'm going to make. I can make. Volume. Might need to. I should take it down. Maybe add. Let's get back the grid on. From here. Let's do it like that. And be silent. doing? Duck. Duck. Like this. That's why it's too loud. Oops! I put it on 12 dB. Some claim she had him shot. Not sure about that, but I think since the day one he met her, something was she was. I think she was very controllable. She had him. Some things might just be rumors, but who knows exactly? Because when you see the video, I didn't watch the show because when they released, they made the remaster of their famous recording. No way of knowing. Yeah, there was one scene where the camera crew actually captured when she was sitting in the studio together, because apparently the other members weren't quite happy about the fact that she was sitting in the recording studio session watching over all the things. Yeah, because she wasn't a band member, but yeah. And you clearly see at some point, I think it was Paul McCartney, who he was very annoyed that she was present. And I don't like her as a person. As Chuck Berry. Oh my God, I love that scene. And the crazy part when you know that when they were playing, and first Chuck Berry reacting to her, and then the sound engineering mute. Oh, you're cold. Just mute it. She won't notice. Oh my goodness! And there is, I've seen the documentary. There was a festival in Canada where there was the first performance of John Lennon and the Yoko Ono band with Eric Clapton and all that stuff. There wasn't even. I seen the documentary, and where John Lennon actually met Chuck Berry and stuff. And when you watch that documentary, and she was on stage screaming her lungs out, and some people go, what the heck is she doing? But John apparently didn't care, so that's the engineer put her on mute. That was that was pretty nasty. Yeah, that's better. Crazy stuff. Like when she did, some years ago, she was filmed while presenting some art gallery, and she back again doing her primal scream. You get, what the heck? I know that art is a very wide, broad range of stuff, but Primal Scream, really. And I've seen a documentary about her before she met John and what she was doing, because she was doing that very weird artistic. I think it's a Japanese thing. I don't know. They're kind of like some Japanese doing very weird music, and she was doing very weird art. She goes, "Oh my goodness!" And someone actually paying for that? Really? So I don't know. We don't know what she was actually discussing and talking with John when they met. That it's just clicked, and we know love can make someone blind, but I don't know. It's totally weird. Definitely. Totally weird. I might even change it like this. Or make it maybe a bit longer, like that, like a slow progression. Yeah, that's better. That's better. What? No ranting? Not today. We rented like 8 hours yesterday. No, it makes you blind. It also makes you stupid. Yes. Eddie Böse knows. Yeah, so, yeah. We're just been ranting about Yoko Ono. And someone putting her on mute when a certain guitar player was looking very weird into the camera. Cheers, Biscuit. See you around. We're gonna just play another 15 minutes and then. Yeah, that's better. And now let's see, if I render to stereo, I should still have the envelope. And let's render that. And then we're gonna check. Yeah. Oh, Viral Beats is live. Make me feel it. Oh. I want to check him out. And James Tyson already made preset packs for the new Cherry audio thing. Okay, so he had some advanced access. Could show me playing in public. Oh, there. So it rendered everything. So I might need to actually put the volume here and do it. Maybe I'm going to use, where's my envelope here? I'm going to, not the same thing. Using the reverb as a kind of background. Let's make an envelope here. And could actually first take this one down. And like, I can get rid of the, let's see. I think it's Alt. Like this, and this is -2. That's an interesting idea. Fade to black, sanitarium soldiers. Oh my goodness. I can't play guitar anyway. So. No, it needs to be pro level. Yeah, I was watching, what was it, on Sunday, my one man and his songs made a new video because he was quite busy with all the private stuff. And he played acoustic guitar. And he explained because of he has problems really intensively. Maybe his mic was a bit too much picking up the stuff when he was moving the fingers on the board to play the chords. You clearly heard the fingers moving and touching the strings. So you go, oh my goodness! And he said, "Yeah, I'm still not used to when changing the chords." And my dad had the same problem, and especially he had very, very rough fingertips due to his working on all kinds of products as a mechanic, and he had the same problems. It's really hard to, especially with acoustic guitar and pickups. I'm not sure about the electric guitar, but yeah, it takes a practice to, when you're changing chords and stuff, to pick up your. I can't imagine if I would try that. I would probably fail totally. So I do more blues stuff later. Because it's slower. You might don't do Paco de Lucia or I don't know who else. Dave Matthews and who else was a very famous jazz guitarist. Aldi Meola. Oh yeah, Yngwie. Milo is a big Yngwie fan. I never liked this guitar virtuosos. I like progressive rock, and John Petrucci, well, he doesn't exaggerate playing too much notes, but those Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, all these gigantic guitar, yes, they can play. Absolutely amazing what they're doing. But I think I once bought, as a teenager, I bought one of the first records from Yngwie Malmsteen and I put it on. I said, oh my goodness, way too much notes. Can you stop? Slow down. That's too much for me. It makes me itchy and nervous. That's why no matter what kind of music, I don't like it too fast and too much notes. Progressive rock is still, certain songs might have the solos in it and stuff like that, but they still kept it normal. Like, show me playing the keyboards of especially on live settings, doing a lot of solos. When I was at the concert from Steve Hackett, his band, for the most part, renowned prog rock musicians, the bass player, then they all had their solo moments. So you got the bass player, the drummer, and the other guitar player, and even the guy who playing keyboards and other instruments. He had their solo moments. But yeah, that's like 5-10 minutes, and then okay, let's make the song. But like listening to 5 or 10 minutes, but it's not just guitar players. My mom did once send me, she had concert tickets because she has a subscription for the Philharmonic thing, and there was one jazz saxophone, I think it was on saxophone, and she thought, my friends couldn't go with me. Would you want to go to watch the show? And I didn't know the name. It wasn't very young. It was an old, renowned jazz saxophone. I never heard of it. I was looking at Google and watched the video and go, oh my goodness. It's like the same thing on guitar on a saxophone. For hours. She goes, oh my goodness, no, thanks, not 90 minutes of that. No, keep your tickets. I'm not a jazz nerd, or like slow, funky jazz stuff, but no, that was too much, too many notes at one time, in like 2 or 3 minutes on a saxophone. Yeah, they're virtuosos, but it's too much. It's mentioning Kirk Hammett. Kirk Hammett is a wah-wah player. I never knew that, because I listened to Metallica, of course, since a teenager, since the first album, as a 14-year-old kid, but that he was such a wah-wah pedals. Whenever I actually heard it, I knew that it was shredding and stuff. But wah-wah? Because I seen an interview from Kirk Hammett explaining how he plays, and he goes, I'm a huge fan of wah-wah pedals. And he said, okay. And I even some mock Kirk Hammett because of it, because Kirk and his wah-wah pedals. So yeah. Crazy stuff. Let's see that. Yeah, when I was like 16, I wrote a letter. They sent me a wah-wah book. With a forward. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. A wah-wah book. Yeah, but maybe when he's doing, you might have to listen really, especially on Metallica songs, to really, you might have, I don't have the ears to hear certain details, maybe, especially in metal. because it's metal is a lot in the mid-range. Why I stopped listening too much metal, because it irritates my ears. Too much mid-range. I'm more bass and a bit of mid-range and mostly the higher notes and stuff like that. But just the shredded guitar and the distortion is almost too much for me. Back in the days, yes, when I listened to tons of metal, destroying my ears in a car and home, like but sometimes she's and also she's so psytrance, the normal one, the classics psytrance, yes. Well, I don't like high tech. Oh my goodness! The first time I actually never knew about high tech, and the first time I heard it, I was going, "Oh my goodness! Slow down, boys! 200 BPM." How do you actually mix this? They have ruined my ears on a teen playing too loud. Yeah, not just you. Me, concerts, and I wasn't even. I used a bit of Walkman and headphones, but for me it was actually constantly listening to music. And then, of course, at concerts back then, trying to get in at the front, and just sitting at the, sadly not in the middle, but on the sides where they had the speakers ringing in my ears, like, well, it was crazy times. Like, oh my goodness. At 150 BPM, you just produce, and when you sometimes listen to what Projector does when he does his Sunday streams. What about breakcore? Oh my goodness, that is too much. way too much. Drum and bass, I know it's fast, but it's still not everything, but mostly more the liquid and more the calm stuff. But breakcore, even though these like that glitchy, how do you call that? Mostly like faster gaming music for Commodore, stuff like that's way beyond my taste. It's just too fast. It makes me itchy. It's like, imagine putting Reaper on 900, and I actually tried it once to put, because the limits of Reaper has 999 BPM. Just try to add 4 to the floor kick on that. I tried it. Okay. like a fart. So, time to wrap it up. I'm not gonna make it too long, otherwise me starting to babble and ranting again. So, thanks for watching. Let's see if I'm going to do a continuation of this one for tomorrow. Same time, same place. I need to make a thumbnail first. So far as VPN is escapes human hearing. Yeah. Yeah. So, see you around probably tomorrow at same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.